Hello, amazing followers of Australia Alidu. Like every Wednesday, we are back with an amazing session in which Global Vision Migration's favorite migration agent, Saurabh Smar, is going to talk about immigration updates in general, and any questions that you have can be posted in this session and will be answered by Saurabh. So, without any further ado, let's just welcome Saurabh. Hi, Saurabh. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Ashu. I'm doing really well, and yeah, so we are back again. 8 p.m. Wednesday. So we'll be discussing a lot of information today with our lovely viewers, and also we want viewers to join in as well, and then I want them to keep this session as interactive as possible. Share your information as well. I've seen a lot of people actually receive invitations from New South Wales last week, this week itself. So last week they actually received it. So if our viewers who are currently watching, followers, if their friends or someone have received invitation, make sure you do comment. What was their occupation, at what point they have received invitation as well. So it actually be beneficial for a lot of people as well. And then what we'll talk about is we will also going to talk about how you can bring your family to Australia. We'll talk about some also about international students who are currently in Australia, who came to study some courses such as masters, and their master's course is not in PR and they want to change the course. So we'll talk about those options as well, how they can do it, and whether they can do it or not. We will also talk about the recent changes that actually due to come in place for temporary visa holders, whether they need a skill assessment or not, whether they need to do a 360-hour provisional skill assessment. So there's a lot of confusion out there. People are not sure whether they actually need that provisional skill assessment or not. So we're going to discuss those options with our viewers as well. And also, we will welcome all the comments from our lovely audience. Feel free to post in questions. Some people were proactive, I would say. They actually send their questions to my WhatsApp number. So if you see the number below, it's actually my WhatsApp number. They yeah, and if any of your viewers, if you don't want to post a question live, send a message to that number, 0430081804, and obviously I will keep your inquiry as anonymous, and I will answer the inquiry for you as well. I will try my best, and obviously we not this session is only for education purpose. Any advice provided, you should always seek professional advice in regards to your own circumstances. I will be only providing some general advice in relation to the scenarios that we would come up with. So yeah, back to you, Ashu.
Thank you, Saurabh, for that. So, guys, as you all know, this is going to be a 45-minute session. So, be quick and post down your comments so that we can read the comments and Saurabh can answer them for us. And like every week, we have this ritual going on wherein Saurabh is going to share some positive news at the beginning of the session with his weekly updates of PRs and other visa grants. So, Saurabh, over to you. What are positive
Well,
news?
yes. So the positive news that we received today itself was we actually received two 190 PR grants, and that was for chef. Um, and yesterday we received another PR grant for an analyst programmer, 190 as well. So what I have seen is that the government has actually started to process 190 visa applications really fast, really quickly. So if your application is actually in the process of being finalized, if you are in the process, if you have lodged your 190, make sure you have provided your police clearance, you have booked your medicals, you have prepared everything. Because all the visa grants that we have received, we haven't received any request from the department at all. We straight away received the visa grant itself. So this is a very important news, guys. The visa grants are coming through for all that 190 invitations that we received in this financial year from Victoria and from other states. Um, Government has started to process applications quicker. Even 408 visa applications are currently being processed really quickly as well. We have received around 4 to 5 since last Wednesday, and they all have been granted for at least 1 year. So they vary from sector to sector. Some of them working in an agriculture sector, some of them working in a hospitality sector. And as you know, these sectors are considered critical, so they are getting 1 year COVID visa as well. And that visa comes with the travel work rights as well, so people can travel overseas too on that particular visa.
So Saurabh,
um, yeah,
question in between. So these 408 visa grants that you're talking about, when exactly have you guys launched these visas? Because
hmm,
how many what's the wait time is what I'm trying to
sure. So some of them were actually lodged later last year, around I would say October and November, because
okay.
their temporary residency 485 visas were expired. They were working in the critical sector, so they managed to get into 408. So from November till now, so pretty much another 7 months, they were on a bridging visa working full time, and now they got another 1 year. So as you can see, these people managed to get almost,
One
you
and a
can
half.
say, yeah, exactly 1.5 years of another temporary visa.
Yeah.
And most of them are actually looking either for towards employer sponsored visas, where they need enough work experience to be eligible for either a temporary visa or even a permanent visa as well. So that's the advantage of them looking into these kind of options.
Yep. Okay.
And most
So
importantly, since I also want to bring it out as well. So this Friday, guys, 2 more days left. Friday is our I'm running a seminar in Melbourne, 365 Little Collins Street, ground floor, between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. So if you haven't registered, you are still welcome. You can register as well. It's completely free of cost. So I will be talking about different states. What are their state requirements? We'll talk about student visas, what you can do, what you cannot do. We talk about employer sponsored visas, what you can do, what you cannot do. And then we also talk about global talent visas, etc. as well. So if you have your friends, family, etc., who are currently already working in the sector, bring them along with yourself. They might be able to get some information out there from the session. And also, there are some kind of the team has actually organized some kind of promotions as well, that that some people can get free face-to-face consults and all those kind of offers and stuff. So yeah, the link should be there, in our live session. Feel free to book yourself or your friends or family, or just come along.
so guys, I hope all of you will be there and then get the most out of it, because Saurabh is going to elaborate on everything, all the visas, and then you also can get to talk to Saurabh and explain your case in person. So I think that's what makes it the best. You just have to go there, be there, and then you can get talk and then try to understand what position you are in. And for all of those students who are out there, it's really a great opportunity for you, because in that way you can go to the session and try to understand if you're already eligible to apply for a PR, instead of doing or finishing your masters, because some students are actually, depending on your undergrad, right? So
Exactly.
that's
So
our,
so that's a so that's the thing. There's a lot of people, they want to know exactly what's going to happen in the next financial year for them, etc. So it will be a good opportunity for a lot of people to know. So there are some people who are already actually eligible for their for the new they themselves are actually eligible for the PR, but they don't even know yet. So that's exactly where people can take the most benefit out of.
so Saurabh, so for those of our followers who are graduating this year, so if they want to bring their parents, so what is the process like? Is it easy when you're graduating and you have the invite, or how does it work?
Um, okay, so when it comes to, say for example, you mean that if they are already graduated on 485 visa, or they
No, no,
want to
no.
bring their parents
Yeah, they want to bring their parents for their
for the
graduation
for the
ceremony.
graduation? Yes. So what's going to happen is university also sends you an invitation letter specifically for your parents as well. So
Right.
that's very important. Make sure you do use that particular letter. And how does visitor visa works is, it's you have to apply for a individual application for each applicant.
Okay.
and the applicants would need to satisfy the GTE criteria, which is genuine temporary entrant. A lot of student visa holders are already aware of GTE, but
Yeah.
in the student visa application, you would only have to write a letter stating your GTE criteria. When it comes to visitor visa, you would need to provide evidence as well, that how you only going to come to Australia for a short period of time, you will attend that particular event, and then you will go back to your home country. So that's very important, and that is what the department wants to see, whether you're going to be here for a short period of time, or you're going to be making Australia, you're going to be able to extend your stay in Australia, etc. So those are the things that you have to be very careful about when you are applying for the visitor visa for your family. um, there are other aspects as well. Say for example, age matters a lot, because parents are currently, they are 45 or 45-year-old or more than that. What does it mean to the department is that at that particular age, obviously they're not going to be staying here permanently, because parents would show that they have their job there, they have their business there, they have property, financial assets, etc. So in that regard, it's quite easier for parents to come and stay with their, and to visit Australia as well. um, what also matters is what kind of links they have in Australia as well. Say for example, and if you are, in comparison with parents, if you're trying to bring your 20-year-old brother, who just graduated, who doesn't have a job, who doesn't have any financial assets back in your home country, who is not even employed, um, and they don't have any liquid assets either, then that's going to be a difficult case there for them, because then you would need a lot of evidences to state that how they will go back to their home country, because at that particular age they know if they get the visa, they come here, they will apply into a student visa, and then so on. So as there are different aspects of different different cases, has different scenarios and different visa opportunities available to different kind of people. So yes, you can bring your parents as well. Parents can get their visas quickly, that's not a problem at all.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, should we get into the comments, Sarah?
Yeah, let's begin.
So, first comment. We have a comment from Prithvi. So Prithvi is asking, hi, good evening. Can we gain IT professional year points for engineering assessments?
Okay, so that's actually a very good question. What I've seen is, because if you are applying for, say for example, Prithvi, if you were not an engineering graduate, imagine if you were a chef, but you also had a bachelor's, you did bachelor's of IT, but you also did chef, you have a chef assessment. So you can't apply, you can't claim points for PY for an IT for a chef. In the same way, you cannot apply, you cannot claim points for PY for IT for an engineering assessment for electronics engineer. You will need to do an engineering PY to be able to claim points for that particular occupation. I hope it does answers your question.
Thank you so much for commenting today, Prithvi. Hope that answers your question. So in addition to this question, Saurabh, so basically, when we are trying to pursue a professional year, you have to prepare yourself that this is the my occupation that I'm gonna launch my PR for, and then accordingly you're supposed to do it, right?
Not really. So I'll just quickly give a bit of information about professional year as well.
Yep.
So professional year can be done in three different streams: computer science, engineering, and accounting. So if someone is a accounting graduate, obviously they will only be able to do PY in accounting. If someone has studied IT, data science, information technology, networking, ICT security, so they can only do PY in by the ACS under the ACS IT program.
Okay.
And if someone has done engineering, then they certainly can only do the engineering professional year. So that's how it works. Some occupations, say for example, for IT, professionally is required for you to do your skill assessment. Either you need a professional year program, or you need a 1 year of post qualification experience in order for you to get a skill assessment. For
Right.
accounting, they either need to get 7 each to get a skill assessment, or they need at least 6 each plus professional year program to get the skill assessment. However, for engineering people, they can get the skill assessment done based on their Australian qualification or through a CDR pathway. They don't actually need a professional year to get the skill assessment. But the reason people do it is to gain extra 5 points.
So,
So I hope it, yeah,
so you're saying that for all the computer, like all the people who've done their data science or say IT, they all would require professional year in order for ACS to assess their or 1 year of experience.
exactly. So either they need a 1 year of post qualification experience or they need a professional year. But it is advisable to do PY as well as that so they can actually claim extra 5 points. And in some people, who are currently finishing up their studies or they are on a bridging visa for 485, they are planning to study professional year program. We do have some providers who actually can organize a guaranteed job option as well, that they will make sure that the person do after finishing up their PY, they get a guaranteed job. So those options are also available to those people. Around 3 to 4 of my clients have already got a job as an ICT security specialist, working with in a health sector in Victoria. So what does it mean is that, and they some of them are actually received invitation as well, because they worked with they did the PY, and then the PY provider got them a job, and then based on that job we were actually managed to apply for Victoria State nomination. Now they got the 190 and then they're waiting for the visa grant. So in the same way, a lot of people out there they don't know. They would just choose any random PY provider without actually doing any research, because you're already spending a lot of money on it. Why not you do it properly? Make sure you do able manage to get a job as well. Don't just do it for the sake of your skill assessment, just for the sake of extra 5 points. Choose the one that actually manage you to get a proper job in the good sector, where you can be actually able to apply for PR.
So Saurabh, for those of most of the Indians that I know of, they have done their bachelor's in engineering, say
Mhm.
mechanical, electronics, or something, and then here they have pursued streams like IT, like analytics, data science, or ICT or information systems, stuff like that. So the what is the pathway for them through professional year? Like, can they do it? They still have to do it with ACS, right?
So that's actually a very, very good question, actually, in regards to migration pathway. Say, for example, if someone has studied Bachelor's of Electronics and Communication, which is very common, ECE, and then they come to Australia to study Masters of Networking or Masters of Data Science, IT, whatever. Based on their bachelor's, they can do a skill assessment as electronics engineer, telecom engineer, engineering technologist. So they can do all these three skill assessments. That means three different pathway towards permanent residency. And now, based on their master's qualification, they can actually do a professional year program, and then they can get a skill assessment as a software engineer, developer, programmer, computer network engineer, ICT security specialist. As you can see, they already had three pathways before, and then they added 3 to 4 more. So they have around 7 different options of applying for permanent residency in Australia. That's actually really good as compared to other occupations. So most of the people who are currently in Australia, who have recently came to Australia as well, they already have bachelor's qualification where they can get a skill assessment and apply for PR. However, what I would suggest them is, do not wait until you finish your studies, etc. If you think you are eligible now, why not you apply for your either 491 or 190 right away? A lot of people actually come from overseas with work experience. They have 2 to 3 years of work experience, and they manage to get a job in their field as well. Talk to your employer, because you don't you if you are right now you're working full time, but your employer wants you to be working full time continuously, then use your previous experience and apply for an employer sponsored visa, where you can continue to work full time for that employer and then be eligible for PR as well. So there are plenty of options available. It's just that what I've seen is that not many people do seek those options, or maybe sometimes I feel bad that they were not actually told this information, and then when they get to know, it was already too late for them.
So continuous a question from Prithvi itself. He says, I got 190 invitation for electrical, But in EOI, I added professional year as computer science. In EOI, I can see 5 points added. Now, if I submit ITPY, is there any chances for 190 rejection?
So as I said, I can only provide general advice, Prudvi, in the live platform. So as I said previously, when you want to claim points for professional year program, the points should be claimed within the right segment. That means that if you have not claimed the right amount of points in your visa application, then obviously you can get an adverse result. However, as I said, if you are an IT graduate, you should claim points for your IT professional year. If you're an accounting graduate, claim points for your accounting PY. If you're an engineering graduate, you should claim points for your engineering points in for your engineering PY. So I hope it answers your question. And if you do have any doubts, you can actually contact us on the numbers below as well. Yeah.
Hope that answers your question, Prithvi. All the very best with your case. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next, we have Kazi. She's asking, "Hi, can you please let us know when can we know about the state-wise quota allocation? We have roughly 20 days for the new financial year. Furthermore, are you expecting any change in the Northern Territory 190 and 491 eligibility requirements? Thanks."
So Kazi, government already, when they introduced the budget in the month of early May, they actually already provided us with the allocations for the next financial year, and we did discuss them, quite in detail, how many seats are available and what they will be, how you can, use that information as well. So I will be discussing about these allocation places on Friday as well, and we are working on to see if we can do that seminar live for a lot of people between 3 and 5 p.m. If that will be possible, then certainly we will organize, then you can actually watch that seminar online as well, and then you might be able to get those information there as well. In regards to changes in the state requirements, what I can see is some states might be changing requirements, etc. Some have already published their details. So you would get more information when you are closer to that period. So I'm hoping before the end of this financial year, we should know what states are expecting what changes. And if they are changing much requirements, they would certainly let us know before the new financial year starts.
That hope that answers your question, Kazi. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next, we have Karunakar Reddy. He's asking, "Hi, can I apply two ROIs, one for 190 and other for 491 in Victoria? If we apply only one ROI for 190, what are the chances of getting invite for 491 if I'm working and living in regional area currently?"
Okay, cool. You cannot apply for two ROIs. That's the answer to your first question. And obviously, getting an invite for an ROI based on your ROI, it all comes down to how your ROI is written. What have you provided? What information you have supplied? Whether your information you have supplied is persuasive enough. Whether that all that information that whether you are actually working in that particular target sector. Whether you have mentioned how you're utilizing your STEM skills correctly or not. So there's a plenty of things that you need to consider when you are expecting. We receive a lot of ROIs invites in this year itself, in this financial year. So we receive more than 20-25 invitations from Victoria, just from Victoria itself, for various occupations: chefs, computer engineer, software engineer, mechanical, electronics, social worker, the childcare teacher, etc. So there's a plenty of invitations that we have received in this financial year. And for those people, if you have not received any invitations, Victoria is going to reopen from 1st of July. You have our details, you can contact us, and then we can certainly see how we can help you convert your refusal into that pre-invites. And that would actually put a smile to a lot of faces when we do call them and tell them that that congratulations, you are a permanent resident now.
Hope that answers your question, Karunakar. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next, we have Mohan. He's asking, hi, in order to claim 1 year work experience from civil engineering, what should be the annual package or hourly rate? Things.
So when it comes to claiming points for your work experience, obviously minimum work experience requirement is at least 20 hours per week. You can claim points for up to last 10 years of your work experience. And when it comes to what's the standard salary, and so you can also see what's the award rate for a civil engineer. um, and if your employer has an enterprise agreement with the government, or if the government, if the employer, how he has determined your market rate, that also matters as well. There is no such, we can't put a hourly rate or a package to that yet. It falls into various so many situations. Like if it's in a regional, the rate will be different. If it's in metropolitan range, it will be different. If it's in Victoria, the price, the amount will be different. If it's in uh, New South Wales, then amount will be different. If you're working for a very big company which has an enterprise agreement with the government, then the price will be different. So there is a you can't put a an hourly rate or an annual package. There's no set number. But what you can do is go and check your annual, your rate, award rate. See how much is that in your area, in the particular region where you live, and then choose accordingly.
Hope that
And talk to
answers
your employer actually as well.
Hope that answers your question, Mohan. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next, we have Rakesh. He's asking, hi, the SAF rules are getting strict for ICD people. Do you have any suggestion on staying here or moving to another state? What are my chances working as an IT support engineer for 8 months so far, part-time, PY completed, about to do PTE, living in CBD? Thanks for your help. Really appreciate it.
Because Rakesh, you have already been working there for 8 months as a support engineer. I would suggest you to, as you know, South Australia is quite volatile. They keep on changing their requirements. In the morning, they might have one occupation on the list. By the evening, their occupation is gone, and then the next day it's back up again. So it all goes down to demand and the supply and demand criteria, like how much is the demand in that particular occupation in the state. What I can see is IT support engineer. I have seen recently it's been added to a lot of states. Even in Canberra, South Australia, this particular occupation is there, and people are receiving invitation at lower points as well. Though it's a short-term occupation, it's only eligible for 491 or 190, or a short-term 2-year 482 visa. So very limited options available. However, because you are aiming for state nomination, then certainly you can actually apply for that as well. 8 months, you've already been working from 8 months, and I was just give it another, meet the requirements. See, in the next few weeks they're going to publish the criteria. Once they almost, they're going to finish all the quota very soon. They're going to publish the new requirements, etc. And then what if, because what I've seen is when the state reopens, in the new financial year starts, they always start to invite a lot of people. And then as soon as the ends, then the quota goes down, because they only have very limited seats available. So maybe that's why, they might reduce that requirement at the start, and they might make it harder by the end of the financial year. So I would say wait and watch. You might be in a better position in South Australia.
All the very best, Rakesh. Hope that answered your question. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next, we have Satyan. He says hi, and then if nomination has refused reason for list of duties, employer can reapply with all corrections for nomination.
Um, so what kind of nomination is he talking about? Satyan, if you can also provide us more information. What nomination was it? What visa subclass have you applied? And then we can certainly be able to answer a question, because it could be a state nomination, it could be an employer nomination, it could be a different kind of nomination as well. So if you are watching, make sure you do provide us more information. What no Which subclass nomination was it, and then we can certainly see how we can assist. Because a lot of times, I've seen employers, they tend to do these employer nomination. If it was employer nomination, then say for example, employers try to do it themselves, and then they do end up making mistakes because they don't know the exact migration aspects of that particular nomination, like what exactly the government wants to see. So what we have I have done cases where the employers have come to us that, look, we applied for the nomination has refused, tell me how you can help us. So in that regard, what we do is we take over that nomination application, and then we organize, redo the nomination, and then we reapply for the visa as well. So and then we have converted those nomination refusals into approvals. So that's not a big deal, but we also need to dig deep into exactly what are the reasons for the refusal, etc. So if you are watching, make sure you do provide us with more information, and then we can see how we can assist.
So Satyan, you can directly send a message on Global Vision Migrations page, or you can send a WhatsApp text on the numbers below, or you can just give them a call tomorrow as well. Hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for commenting today. So Satai says hello. Hello, Satai. Next we have Sai. He's saying I got invited for electrical engineer NSW 90 plus 5, but my EOI shows 95 plus 5, including my peer points, which I did for IT. What should I do? Do I need to provide the department for my ACS documents as well? Could you please help me out?
So as I said, I did actually answer this similar question earlier, in regards to claiming wrong points for the for ACS IT PY. For say for example, if you are an IT graduate, if you're applying under an IT occupation, you must claim points for PY in IT only. Similar goes to accountant, and as in accountant PY, engineers as an engineer PY. But what I would suggest you is, if you haven't applied for the nomination, sometimes what I've seen is I have requested New South Wales migration team for a few of my clients, where they actually incorrectly put a wrong EOI details, and then I requested them to please nominate them. And in some circumstances, they have actually been nominated by the state government. So yeah, certainly we can look into that as well. I would suggest you to send us a message, and then I might be able to see what I can do.
So please get in touch with Saurabh Sai. All the very best. Next we have Karunakar. He's asking, hi, when is Victoria's requirement for 190 and 491 expected to publish? And he's also saying that his question was, would Victoria State invite 491 only with EOI, without ROI, if we live and work in regional area?
Okay. So Victoria previously, they have this EOI and ROI system, and now they are actually collecting surveys, feedbacks from various migration agents, various stakeholders, to see how they can actually improve their program for the next financial year. So as soon as they do get all this, I think they would, by the end of this week, they would be able to have all the necessary information to work out what the new requirements they want to have for the next financial year. What I've also seen is recently in the news as well, New South Wales and Victoria, their premiers were actually pushing for skilled migration. So what does it mean for a lot of people is that there will be good news coming for Victoria or as well as New South Wales people, that they will be, because as you know, Western Australia has already published details, and they are inviting people, and they are only asking for a job offer. Give you 28 days to get a job offer. They can give you more time as well to get a job offer. And what they're saying is that if you are in WA, you will get priority. So what does it mean is that a lot of people from these states are actually traveling to WA in order for them to get the invitation. So in the same way, then these states will be almost run out of skilled migrants. So they have to do something very important, very critical, to keep the migrants, keep the international students, temporary visa holders in Victoria, where they can continue to work for Victoria and help Victoria with the economy recovery after COVID-19 as well. So I would suggest, yes, there's going to be some new options coming. But what I've seen is that Victoria was quite happy the way their previous program run. They were managed to get a good amount of people who are already employed in the STEM scheme, skill sector. What I'm hoping is that they should add more sectors to it. Trade sectors, they should add more. Construction was completely neglected last year. Civil engineers were not able to get much invitation. So they should take care of civil engineers as well, who are currently in Australia or in regional, etc. So there will be more. I would suggest new sectors would be added to that list as well, and it might bring some good news to a lot of people. And when it comes to your second question, whether you can apply for 491 without ROI, no, you cannot. Victoria would only accept applications based on your ROI.
Hope that answers your question, Karnakar. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next, we have a Venkatesh. He's asking, what are the chances of granting visa after invitation of 491 visa if we follow all the conditions?
So you mean that after you got the 491 invitation, what are the chances of you getting a visa? So chances of getting a visa are higher based on the fact of how many points you have claimed, what evidences you have to substantiate those claims as well. So those are the things that you would need to consider when you are actually applying for 491 visa. And if you are actually not into that kind of scenario, like if you have claimed wrong points, etc., then you should be certainly a little worried about getting a positive response. But if you have claimed the right amount of points and you got the right necessary information, then certainly you don't need to worry too much about the results.
So all the very best, Venkatesh. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next, we have Bhargav. He's asking, hello, when we are in 491, can we bring siblings on family-sponsored 491?
No, siblings cannot be sponsored on a 491 family sponsor. Only your spouse or people of member of your family unit. Member of family unit means you, yourself, your spouse, or your kids. So your siblings are not part of it. So your siblings cannot be sponsored under this particular 491 subsequent entrant.
Hope that answers your question, Bhargav. Thank you so much for commenting today. So, Saurabh, one of our followers have messaged us in private. So they're asking if they work at a noodle box, will that be sufficient for the job ready program for PR?
For a noodle box, okay. So job ready program has 4 steps. Provisional skill assessment, with that requires 360 hours of work experience. So what does it mean for a lot of people is they are not too strict when it comes to job ready program. And it also comes down to what kind of duties that you are doing in a noodle box. Because noodle box, I know there is a chef required as well, there's a cook required as well, they do a proper wok cooking and everything. They do cook from scratch, etc. So if the cooking is done from the scratch, and there is a proper commercial kitchen in place, then yes, you can actually use that experience as well. So there is no such one answer that whether one particular joint would be eligible for that as well. Say for example, fast food chains like McDonald's, obviously you can't do that there, because there is no there is no actual commercial kitchen. There is no cook or chef that's happening. So everything is frozen, cooked, and it's just packed and go. However, depending upon what kind of structure they have in noodle box, whether they actually cooking, everything is cooked from scratch, there is a proper wok cooking going on, there's a chef there as well, there is a cook who take care of all the cooking and stuff, chef take care of the menus and all. So based on that, and then also what duties they are doing as well. So though there are plenty of things that we need to consider. Since we're talking about this, I'll also tell everyone an update in regards to 485 graduate work stream, where a lot of people they don't know that whether they need a skill assessment from 1st of July, or whether some of they're actually only matters to people who are doing a, say for example, a diploma level qualification or a trade, who doing certificate 3 4 in hospitality, commercial cookery, carpentry, motor mechanic, who doing a trades, where they need to, when they want to apply for TR, they need to do a job ready program. They need to get a provisional 360 hour skill assessment to be eligible to apply for TR. and the occupation must be in the MLTSSL list. However, from 1st of July, that requirement is no longer there. What does it mean for people is that a lot of people are thinking, oh, then I don't have to do job ready program. I don't have to do provisional skill assessment. You still need to do job ready program, but it's not required for your TR. What does it mean for you is that you still need to, if you want to get a skill assessment for you to be eligible to apply for PR down the track, you still need to do that. You still need to do your 360 hours, because that's the step one of your job ready program. The step two is your secondary, where you do a job ready employment, where you work for that employer for at least 1600 something hours. So that is very important. A lot of people are planning not to do job ready program at all because it's not a requirement anymore. That's not the case, guys. Do not just you know rely blindly on some news like that. Consider your own scenario first. I just want to quickly, before I let everyone go, there was a question that was sent to me on my WhatsApp. There was an accounting graduate at 90 points living in Victoria, but they're not working in their field. They want to know what are the best options I would, as an accountant. If you have got 90 points, as a 189 for an accountant, I would suggest Victoria. Last year, they didn't invited much accountants. But if you're working in your own field, if you're not working in your field, Victoria might not be the place for you. You should look into options such as Western Australia or other states such as Canberra or even regional New South Wales as well. Western Australia currently have accountants available under WASMOL Schedule 2 criteria, where if you get invited, you would need to provide a job offer within 28 days of your invitation. So yes, I hope this answers your question. If you do have any further questions, feel free to get in touch with us. Thanks.
So guys, do not forget to register yourself for this seminar that's happening on this Friday. That's like day after tomorrow at 365 Little Collins Street, ground floor. You can directly walk in, register yourself using the link that's mentioned in the description, and you can ask all your questions there and also hear what Saurabh has to say about different state nominations and all kinds of visas. And any other queries that you have will also be answered in the question answer session. And we'll see you there.
Thanks,
So,
guys, and hope to see you all, and get to meet some faces face to face as well. Exactly. If you have been watching our show, and if you are planning to come this Friday to meet me face to face, do mention that, hey, I am seeing you on the webinar. I do get to meet a lot of people, while working in CBD. That, hey, Saurabh, I have seen your live session. Then it's good to know. We do meet people on the street, on a restaurant, etc. So yeah, hope to see you all. Ashu gonna be there as well, so you get to meet both of us.
uh, so thank you so much, guys, for being such a lovely audience tonight. And thank you, Saurabh, for patiently answering all our questions. We'll see you on Friday. See ya. Bye-bye.